When talking about credit cards, you'll usually hear Chase or American Express. But there's one underrated card that could be the best for cashback, which is the Discover It Cashback credit card. With no annual fees and up to 10% cashback, it's a card that's hard to beat. So in this video, we'll break down all the details of the card and see if it's still worth it amongst all the other cashback credit cards in today's market. Now, right off the bat, any cashback you make from this card is pure profit, because all Discover cards, no matter the cashback card, the student, secured, travel, or other cards, have no annual fee. And from the wording, it seems to stay that way. And that profit comes mainly from the 5% cashback you get when you spend at different categories throughout the year. Where in 2022, you'll be getting 5% cashback at grocery stores and fitness or gyms in Q1, gas stations and Target in Q2, restaurants and PayPal in Q3, and Amazon and digital wallets in Q4. As you can see, these categories cover a bunch of common everyday categories like groceries or PayPal and digital wallets, which include online or in stores using Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, and Garmin Pay, which should cover like 99% of the digital wallets out there. The one caveat is you'll only be getting the 5% cashback in these categories up to $1,500 in spend every single quarter, with all the extra spend past that dropping back down to 1% cashback, which is similar to the Chase Freedom Flex, which also gets you 5% cashback in rotating categories up to the same $1,500 per quarter limit. Because of that, I'd recommend only spending with this card in those specific categories up to $1,500 every quarter. Anything past that threshold or in other categories should be put on other cashback cards like the Wells Fargo Active Cash or Citi Double Cash cards, where you'll get an unlimited 2% cashback on your spend. That means just by having two cards, you could be getting cashback in virtually all your purchases. And with all these cards having no annual fee and no insane credit score requirement, then there's no reason not to. Better yet, unlike some other cashback cards, the Discover It card lets you cash out with as little as 1 cent through different methods like direct to your bank account, statement credit, or Amazon and PayPal. Speaking of Amazon, a lesser known perk is that from time to time, you could redeem just one Discover point to trigger up to $40 in discounts on your Amazon purchase, which should be easy to use given Amazon is like the everything store. Now that's all fine and dandy, but what makes this card a contender for the best cashback credit card is its unlimited cashback match feature. This is a feature that will match you dollar for all of your cashback in the first year with no upper limit. This essentially means that the cashback on this card jumps to 10% in the rotating categories and 2% in everything else in the first year. So if you max out the $1,500 in spend every quarter, you'll be getting $300 at the end of the year. But with the unlimited cashback match feature, you're getting an additional free $300. I don't think there's a card out there that will make it so easy for you to get 10% cashback in such broad categories. The only kind of way I can think of is through the Chase Freedom Flex, getting 5% in categories, then transferring them to travel partners to redeem at 2 cents or more per point in value. There is a higher ceiling on that route, but it requires cards with annual fees and a lot of additional steps that most people may just not want to worry about. Now, Discover isn't skimping on the security it's providing for its users too, like having $0 fraud liability guarantee, so you're never responsible for things you never actually meant to buy. I personally had to use this type of perk before a few years ago when I started seeing random charges for rental cars and groceries halfway across the country. Luckily, with a quick call and explanation, the charges were dropped and I never had to pay a dime while they did their own investigation. And all this should be super smooth on the Discover It cashback card too, with its 100% US-based 24/7 customer service, which was top tier enough for them to earn JD Power's highest customer satisfaction for credit cards back in 2019. Unfortunately, in recent years, that has been taken over by American Express, which isn't surprising given their insane 24/7 support through live chat as well. However, to get that type of support, American Express's cards, especially their most popular ones, will set you back hundreds of dollars in annual fees. But back to the Discover It card, you'll also be able to automatically freeze your card through their app to prevent misuse in the case you lose your card, as well as set up alerts in the case that your SSN number is found on the dark websites that they monitor. Now, that's not bad for a no annual fee card, but Discover is still adding perks for these users, like earlier this year where they added free online privacy protection, where when activated will regularly remove your personal info from some websites that sell private data. With privacy being such a major concern nowadays, it's nice to see that Discover is giving more of these perks to their customer base. So not only does the Discover It cashback cards have insane cashback earning potential, it's also a card that's well suited for both beginners and people without the best credit scores too. First off, cards like the Discover It cashback card has a 0% intro APR for the first 15 months on purchases and balance transfers, with APR starting in the low 10s after that period. I personally don't use these intro APR offers because I recommend paying off your bill in full every single month to avoid any late fees and interest charges. But if you can keep yourself accountable and make sure you have enough to pay it all off before the end of the 15-month period, then there can be some exceptions for you to use this perk. And second, say you're still in school and just kicking off your journey on building your credit. Well, Discover also has a student version of the popular cashback card as well, with essentially the same earning potential, with 5% cashback in rotating categories and unlimited first year match. The intro APR period is lower at 6 months, but you shouldn't be building the habit of keeping balances on your credit card anyways. Or if you have bad credit and can't get approved for most credit cards, you can go for the secured line of cards that will have you put up a refundable security deposit, which is essentially your credit limit on that card. That said, although the Discover It cashback card is the most popular, they have several other no annual fee cards as well, like the travel card that will give you 1.5 times miles on your spend. It is labeled a travel card, but because 1 mile equals to 1 cent, it's essentially a 1.5% cashback card. But the card also has the unlimited first year match, meaning essentially you're getting 3% cash back on all of your purchases in the first year with no upper cap. Unfortunately, it's not possible to pair this perk with the one on the cashback card because you're limited to just one new Discover card each year, meaning these first year unlimited matches won't be able to overlap. Then when it comes to design, Discover has its own flair. There are cards like the American Express Gold that have 2 different designs, but on the Discover side, you have over 25 different designs to choose from and make your own, including more customized ones like your own monogram or pets. And if you're an NHL hockey fan, you'll be able to rock your favorite team's design on your card as well. Now, with all of that said, is this a card that you should add to your wallet? Well, I'd say yes. If you're a student or new to the space, the Discover It cashback card is definitely a card to consider, especially with dedicated student or secured versions of the cards if you need it. If you're more experienced or deeper in the credit card game, then the Discover It cashback card is still one strong contender. But you'll want to see the opportunity cost of getting the Discover It card versus building up more points in other programs like Chase or American Express. In either case, because there are no annual fees in any Discover It cards, these are cards that you'll want to keep open forever in order to help you keep building a strong credit score. Overall, the Discover It cashback card is a simple and free card that will get you an insane 10% cashback in categories in the first year. But like we mentioned earlier, it's not that strong in the travel side with different travel and purchase protections, like getting extended warranty, purchase protection, or even cell phone protection. For those, check out this video where we go over more no annual fee cards that offer great rewards as well as travel and shopping protections. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.